All right. Hey. Welcome, welcome. So glad to see you guys here. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Come on in. Introduce yourself. Let us know where you're joining from as I pull up my notes. Welcome. Come on in. It is Tuesday. It's time for our contractors chat, our lunchtime contractors chat. So thank you for joining us here live. Definitely come on in and let us know who you are and where you're joining from. And let's take a moment and share this out. How cool is that? So as you guys are coming on in, let me know who you are and where you're joining from. Would love to hear that. Yeah, let us know. Come on in. Come on in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from. We have a very interesting topic that we're going to be talking about here today. And definitely, I want your feedback because this is really a topic to help you guys because I've had questions being asked. And so I like to bring to you guys content that you have questions to. So I always want to be of service in that way when we do these live trainings here on the channel. And so this is a very interesting topic that we're going to talk about today. We're going to be really, really candid about it. I'm even going to share one of my personal experiences with you guys, and hopefully that'll, shed some light for you guys. So I'm going to definitely do that as well in the training today because I just want to, hopefully it'll help someone, and maybe just get you going and in the right direction. Okay. Because I think I had blindfolds on. I don't know, but yeah, I wasn't paying attention to what I needed to be paying attention to do what I wanted to do and leave my job as I said I wanted to do. So this is going to be awesome to share this with you guys today. And really, I want to have a conversation with you guys too. So it's not just about me talking here. I like to open it up for Q&A as well. So let me just turn off my notifications, because everybody likes to message me when we're on live. So, hey, Risa, welcome. So glad to have you joining us from California. Alina, good morning from Maryland. Hello. Jonathan, what's up? In Atlanta, Georgia. I love to go there and visit all the time. And we have Clear Scoot. Oh, Zoe. Okay, Zoe from New Jersey. Welcome. Kevin Smith from Houston. All right, we got two people from Houston. No, that was the last name, Houston. I was gonna say we had two people from Houston in the house. But anyway, welcome. Come on in. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. If you're just joining us, definitely let us know who you are, where you're joining from. And if you're watching the replay, you can always comment replay and let us know who you are and where you're joining from, okay? And if you have any questions, we'll open it up for Q&A at the end. And if you're a replay, you can ask your questions because I come back in and I try to answer as many questions as I can, even after the live. And so again, welcome. Happy Tuesday to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the Memorial Day. And if any of you guys here, anybody watching, you served in the military, let me just say thank you for your service. We appreciate you. And let's dive in. So you guys are all here. If you know who I am, maybe you don't. We do have a couple new people from the names I see here. My name is Felicia Streeter, and I work with small business owners and contractors, helping them win contracts with the federal government. For those of you that's starting out, one of my main focus with you guys is always about getting that first bid done fast. And that's the ultimate goal for most of you guys that are just starting out in government contracting. So that's one area that I focus on with my new people getting into government contracting, okay? All right, so let's dive in. So today we're going to be talking about before you quit your job for entrepreneurship. I know, because I was once in your shoes, that, it's a real critical point when we make that decision to, one, that we're going to do it, but two, when are we going to do it? And a lot of times what happens is over time, we really get that itch and we want to make it happen like yesterday. But sometimes things aren't in place as they should be, as they need to be, or as we want them to be to really make that transition. Oh, I got my computer glasses on. Okay, so let me take those off. There we go. All right. I was wondering where the glare was coming from. So what we're going to talk about today is I want to really give you some things to think about, and then also some things that you're going to take home and actually answer the question so that you're in the know of what it needs to look like for you, because everybody picture will not be the same. So this is not a one size fit all. I'm going to give you the information so that you can at least fill in the blank, and then you can work off of that for your needs. Okay. So that's what we're covering today. And here's the thing. Too many people jump into quitting their jobs, one, before they're mentally ready, and two, which is really, really huge, before they are financially ready. And so I don't want that to happen to you guys, because I don't want you to quit your job, right? Jump into entrepreneurship thinking you're going to get a contract next week, and then it does not happen. And then it's like, oh my gosh. And you're probably using a worse word than that, but oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So we want to alleviate that problem. And here's the thing. There's a difference in leaving your job in fear versus being comfortable with your decision. Okay. And I want you guys to be comfortable when you leave your job so that you don't have to go back. Okay. And that's really just about having some things in place. One of the things is you need to know why. You always need to know your why. It's kind of like that North Star, if you will, that will guide you along the path. And so if you know why you want to leave your job to go into entrepreneurship full time, that will help you. And again, we always think everything is general, and it is not. Okay. One reason or one person's reason for leaving their job could be different than somebody else's. And I'm just going to throw some things out here. There's no right or wrong answer, but sometimes it's because maybe you have someone sick at home you need to take care of, and you need more flexibility in that regard. Or maybe you have young children at home, you want to be home with them more. Maybe you just don't like your job, right? Or, you want to not have to punch a clock. Maybe it is, you need more money than what they're paying you, or you don't feel fulfilled at your job. They're not paying you enough. They don't treat you right. I mean, the list could go on and on as to why you want to leave. But I can tell you, if you dive deeper into your why, like if you take a piece of paper and you say, why do I want to leave my job for full-time entrepreneurship? And you write the answer. And then when you have that answer, if you say why, again, ask the same question, why? And if you keep diving deeper, once you get about 5 to 7 layers into it, you'll have the real reason why you want to quit your job. Okay. So you need to be clear on that, because you're going to need that to help you along the way, because sometimes the road gets rough. Okay. That's just the reality. The road gets rough. And so to be able to withstand that, stay the course, you need to know your why. It will wake you up in the morning and keep you going, because you have to realize once you become a full-time entrepreneur, no one's knocking on your door. No one's, calling your phone, coming to check and see if you're working. It doesn't work like that. So you're going to have to be self-sufficient in that area and be able to motivate yourself to do what you need to do on a daily basis to get the results that you want. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, for me, my why is really simple. Okay. I want freedom and flexibility. I already know that. And then I also want financial stability. And just some of the things I experienced in corporate is, and you know how they have layoffs and things like that. Even where we're at today with the pandemic and people having to be laid off and things like that. And some companies aren't opening back up, unfortunately. So now people have lost their job. Well, for me, the biggest why was 3 things. One, I never wanted someone to be able to dictate whether or not I would be able to take care of my family and put food on the table. That's real. Okay. In addition to that, and they kind of go together if you think about it, I also wanted financial stability. I didn't want a cap or someone else to tell me what my services are worth. Okay. And it's really hard to stay in that place when you're in a company where you look and you see what they're making off of your services, and you realize you could be making that money for yourself. That is a real eye opener, let me tell you. And I was able to see those type of things because I had an accounting background. So some things I did in an accounting and things like that. And so I could see the numbers, like the real numbers. Okay. And so that was, that was an eye opener for me. So knowing your why is really, really important. When things get tough, when things get hard, when things aren't happening as fast as you want them to, always look to your why. It'll keep you going. Okay. So another thing is, let me see. Oh, I want to share my story with you guys. So before I give you the steps and the things that you need to know before you make the decision to actually leave your job, here's how it happened for me. So of course I knew I wanted to, go into entrepreneurship full time and things like that. And like most of you, I'm in, still in my job, but I also started the business, right? And so we're working the business at night, after you get off of work, you know the drill. I mean, I was there, same place as you. You go to work, do your 8 hours there, you come home, feed your kids, homework, work on your business. It was like a never ending cycle. But I did know that, it was a short-term sacrifice for long-term results, right? And so, but that's what I had to do. And so my mentality was, and you guys, you may want to write this down, but this is what I kept telling myself. And this is what got me through and got me to the results and where I am today. So doing those things, I would say, keep your head down, keep it pushing. Keep your head down, keep it pushing. And what that meant for me is that don't worry about everything else that's going on. Don't worry about things that I can't control. Focus on what I can. Focus on what I want. Focus on my goals. Focus on what I need to do to achieve those goals by keeping my head down and keep it pushing. In doing that, it worked for sure. It worked a lot sooner than I realized it worked because I kept my head down and I kept it pushing and I wasn't paying attention. So we don't want that for you guys. And so how did I make that transition is one of the things I do is I track my numbers. So metrics, I track a bunch of numbers, some on a weekly basis, some monthly, and some even daily. And so in doing that, I went back and looked at the monthly sheets. I was having a conversation with my daughter and I shared the sheet with her because she wanted to start using the same sheet. And so in doing that, she was like, Mama, you're making more in your business than you do at that job. And I went and looked I pulled it up like, you're right. Not only was it last month, but for the last 3 months, I was making more in my business than I was in my job. And I wasn't even paying attention because I kept my head down and I kept it pushing. Now, once I realized that, it was time to make a change. Because here's what I said, if I can do this working a full-time job, only focusing on this after work, I wonder what I could do if I did this full time. Yes, the numbers went up. Yeah, like quickly. Okay, so I just wanted to share that story with you because you will have to get laser focused on what you want and what it's going to take to get you there. Okay, as in working in your business, what you need to focus on and things like that. But I don't want you to be so focused that you're not watching your numbers so that you know when you hit the goal. Now, the other thing is what I'm sharing with you, I didn't have all those things like laid out either. Like they weren't clear. I knew I wanted to leave my job. And I knew, I wanted to have so much money saved. I didn't know what the number was, but I just knew I wanted to have money saved in the bank, that kind of thing. So I want you guys to be clear. I want you to have clarity around what I'm getting ready to share with you so that once you hit the goal, you hit the goal. Okay. Versus, months down the road, like reality hits you that you've done it a long time ago and you could have exit stage left. All right. So let's dive into what you want to actually have in place before you quit your job. Now, remember, I said this is different for everyone. So all of you guys here watching replay people, the answer will be different. Okay, because probably no two people numbers are exactly alike. Could be, who knows? But you still want to run it for yourself and don't base your numbers off of someone else. Be clear on what you need to have in place to feel comfortable hitting the send button on that email. Dear boss, I quit. Okay. Make sure you're comfortable and you have clarity on that. Now I put my thing on do not disturb, so I don't know why that's ringing. Who knows? Okay. But make sure you have clarity. Okay. So one thing you want to be clear on is your monthly expenses, because this is something that a lot of people want to have in place. They usually say, I want to have so much money saved up before I quit my job because I want to make sure I can pay my bills. Now you have to decide. Remember, everybody's numbers are different. If you need 3 months of living expenses, or if it's 6 months or 12 months, what does it look like for you? And be realistic, right? Be realistic. What does that need to look like for you? Some people may say, I just need 1 month of expenses saved because I'll make it happen. Okay. And I've had people do that, and they do. You know, that's like putting iron to the fire, or fire to the iron, however you want to say it. And they get it moving really quickly. So what do you need to have saved in monthly expenses for you to feel comfortable quitting your job? Is it 1 month, 3 months, 2 months, whatever the number is? Write that down, because what you're telling yourself is, say, for example, it's 3 months, then you're giving yourself, you say, okay, I can get this up, jump and running in 3 months to where I want it to be. Now, there's some other numbers we're going to have here. So I'm not saying quit cold turkey and, you know, have 3 months saved and then start a business. You should be doing those things simultaneously before you quit. Okay. So let me just be clear on that. Okay. And so if you do it that way, you're saying, okay, after I say 3 months expenses, then I know within 3 months, I can keep this going at whatever level I need it to be to sustain me and my family. Okay. So what does that need to be for you? Is it 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, whatever? And I'm not going to ask you to put it in the comments because we don't need to, you know, that's your personal information, but you should know. Now, after this, you'll go back, and if you say it's 2 months, 3 months, whatever, you know, go look at your monthly expenses, do your calculations, make sure you include everything, and then times it by that number. And now you know how much you need to have saved. Okay. That is a very, very important number. Very, very important, especially for your comfort level. So does that point make sense for you guys? If it does, hit the like button for me. Let me know you're digging what I'm putting down. If that point made sense for you, go ahead and hit the like button. And here's the thing, as I'm covering these points, if any one of them is, you know, like doing it for you, like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. Okay, I should do it like that. Hit the like button. Let us know. Okay. All right. Now, after you have your monthly expenses, you have how much you're going to save, right? And here's the thing, even if you need a cushion on top of that, then add that too. It's okay. It's your number, but know what the number is. Okay. And then the next thing is, how will you get to that number? Because you're going to have to save somewhere to save up, you know, those living expenses. So are you going to take it out of your current income? And even, you know, do you have the room to do that? Or will you have to make money in your business and save that, right? Live off of your job money for a period of time and save whatever you're making in your business so that you can exit. Okay. So you need to figure that out, what it looks like for you. What will your strategy be? Now, another thing you want to consider, and again, these are all optional, you know, everybody's plan will be different. But another thing is, do you want to say, before I quit my job, I need to have one, 2, 5, whatever amount of contracts, meaning now I've done, you know, work in my business. So if it's a product or service, I don't care, whatever you're doing, how many, how much do you need to have done for you to feel comfortable leaving your job? And I say that because for some of you guys, one contract may do it for you because it's just in the numbers, right? And for some of you, it may be you're looking more for consistency. And so maybe you want to say, I want to have 3 contracts or 5 contracts, or I want a contract that's a year-long contract or a 6-month contract or something like that, right? Because that's going to give you some numbers as well. It's going to give you some security in knowing that, okay, I have work for the next X amount of months. What does that look like for you? You need to write that out, plan it out so it's clear. Okay. Now, if you're looking to your business to say, hey, okay, when I see this, I can quit my job. What does that look like? So how much do you need to be making from your business on a monthly basis to quit your job? Are you wanting to make the exact same amount that you were making in your job? Now, let me tell you something. And what number is that? Because you know you have your gross and your net, right? Gross income every month, and then net is what you bring home. Which number do you want to have matched in your business? So is it net income or is it gross? Because you know, if you say in your business, okay, say in your job you were making $5,000 a month, and you say, okay, so in my business I want to make $5,000 a month. Theoretically, you probably don't need the whole $5,000 because they were taking out taxes, and so you weren't seeing all of that. And so you need to consider that too. Be very, very clear. Get clear on that number, because you may hit it a lot sooner than you realize if you're not clear. If you're going off of gross versus net, and you're thinking you're doing one or the other, right? So just be clear on where the numbers are coming from, what numbers you're using, and what it needs to be for you. Especially so you're not like me, 3 months down the road and you still didn't realize you were making more in your business than you were in your job. Okay, so be clear. If you need to have a number of contracts, whether those are reoccurring opportunities or one time, you need to spell that out. You know, I need to have 3 contracts awarded to me. And then 2, do you need to have completed those opportunities? Because there's a difference. You can get awarded the contract and you may not mobilize like the next day, right away, right? So you, again, map it out, spell it out, be very, very clear on what that needs to look like for you. And then the last thing I want you to think about and consider, what is your timeline? Now that part you can type in the comments. Let me know in the comments, what's your timeline for leaving your job? Is it 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, within the next year, by the end of the year? Do you even know? And if you don't, that's fine too, but that's something you want to get clear on. When do you want to leave your job? Because that'll help you also in determining what these numbers need to be. For example, this is May. If you say, okay, I want to leave my job by December and I need 3 months of expenses saved up, you have some time, right? It's not like you have to do it in the next month, 3 months, because you have time, which means once you figure the numbers, you could divide it up by the months or something like that, and then put into that fund that way. So what is your timeline? Make sure you're clear on that. Okay. So recapping, right? You need to be clear on your expenses, how much money you want to have saved, what type of work you want to be doing in your business, how many contracts you want to have had, you know, that kind of thing. And what is your timeline for making this happen? And I challenge you to share that timeline with someone. You don't have to give them the details, but I challenge you to share your timeline with someone, because now they can hold you accountable. Okay. So knowing your numbers and what we shared here today will help you relieve some of the fear of when you actually say, okay, it's time, because you'll be comfortable in knowing that you can take care of yourself and your family. And it makes a whole lot of difference. Okay. All right. And it'll prevent you from questioning your decision. Okay. All right. So let's dive into this a little bit deeper. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and start popping those into the comments, and we're going to open it up for some Q&A. And I'm going to say hello to some people I did not before that I see here while you guys are popping in your questions. So, hey, Gary, I remember you from Memphis. Welcome, welcome. Miss C. Oh, Celestine from Houston. Hey, girl. Hey, hey, hey. I hope things are going well for you. We have Lynette in Georgia. Hey. Kay. Okay, I remember you. For practice, the scope of works were quoted at $150,000. Ooh, Lordy. Okay. So I'm looking at Kay. She says, yeah, working for, a company, their scope of works were quoted at $150 an hour, and they were paying her $21 an hour before taxes. Laugh out loud. Yes. So it just sounds like you were in a place not positioned correctly in that deal, for sure. But you know now, so you can do better. I remember, I think, wasn't it you and your assistant reached out to me? It looks familiar. I'm not sure. Maybe it's someone else in Houston. Emmett, welcome, welcome. So I think we're getting into the questions. Let me see. We have Emmett here. Hello. We have Jamie. Let's see. Splash. I don't understand why my phone is ringing. And I have it on Do Not Disturb. Sorry about that. Let me see. And I think I said Kevin, Andrea. Okay, awesome. So I see some questions here now. Let me scroll back. Okay, Emmett says, what is the time it takes to start and beginning to see results? So Emmett, everybody wants to know the answer to that, right? And there's no straight answer, as I just shared, even with the numbers, because everybody is different. And when you say start, I don't know if you already have a business in place or you don't. Are you already doing work in the commercial world, maybe corporate or something like that? So when you think start getting into government contracting, people are at different phases, different places in their business. Ideally, on the government side, or let's say, for example, you don't have your business set up. Some states take up to 30 days to give you your LLC. Now, here in Texas, it doesn't take that long at all. You may get a turnaround in less than a week. Where I've had clients within their state, it takes 30 days just to get the LLC. Okay, so that's one thing. In addition to all of the other things you need to set up, like your bank account, tax ID, all that great stuff. Those usually are quick. And then once you get into the government side, you got to do your registrations. That's easily another couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, just depending on how fast you're moving through the process. And if you fill everything out correctly. And then, at that point, you got to, find your customers, start looking for contracting opportunities. You got to bid the contract, submit it, and wait for it to be awarded. And the time frame on that varies. Okay, so they're all different. And then depending on what it is, you're waiting, even if it's awarded to you, for them to tell you, okay, let's mobilize, that kind of thing. So there's no clear answer to that. It's a process. What I tell people a lot of times is, if you're just starting out and you need cash flow, I have a free resource on my website, and I created it just for that reason, because a lot of you guys you're getting into government contracting, which is great, but you need cash flow. And so when you need cash flow and you're just starting out, I always say go commercial, corporate, that kind of thing, because the turnaround time is a lot faster in most cases. And when we work together, there's some things I can teach you and show you to go out and find some opportunities that's out there, like right now, to where, if you're lucky, you can, be working this week, next week even, and then, just depending on the terms of payment, you get paid. Okay. Okay. Clear says, I'm self-employed now. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations. Splash says, thank you for doing this. You are so welcome. I'm glad you guys came and showed up. Let's see. I think Kevin has a question. He says, how long did it take you to win your first contract, and what service did you supply? Thanks. So I'm going to talk about so I have 2 businesses. Okay. Most of what I do here is the consulting, as you see me here, right? That kind of thing. Also, I have construction. And so I got into government contracting. You guys probably know my story, so I'm not going to dive deep into it because I've done videos on it and it's on my website. But in construction, I did exactly what I tell you guys to do in the free resource to generate cash flow. Okay, so that happened really, really quickly. And you're asking me to go back a lot of years. So let me think. I would say maybe 30, 45 days. And that's because I had just moved to a new state, new to the game, right? I'm looking at commercial. So that's local stuff. So I got to get in there and figure some things out. And so yeah, it was about 30, 45 days. The transition on the government side, again, you know, I don't remember how long that took. I really don't. I would be lying if I told you. I don't remember. But it wasn't that long because I was working the commercial side while building the government side. And so, yeah, and so I don't remember. But it was construction services, what I did for many, many years. And now I've added the consulting side, the training. So, you know, the next code for professional training and development and management consulting. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Clear says, I want to get started with your services to get government contracts. Okay, awesome. Love to have you. So I would say any of you guys that want to get started with government contracting and you want to work with me to make that happen, you want to look at the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. That is where everyone goes when they're just getting started because we need to set the foundation, make sure everything is in place that's solid. We can't build on anything shaky. Okay, once we do that, the focus of the boot camp is really to get your first bid done. Okay, and that's walking you through the process of finding your customers. Also, how to find opportunities to bid. So I'm giving you various ways to do that. I had one lady last session before we even started with the actual live sessions, came with 18 leads, 18. Because she did the work. She went through the training modules, did the work, and she had 18. I had maybe 3 people in there bidding contracts, no, maybe 4, before we started the live sessions. And then when we started the live sessions, we had even more bidding opportunities. So yeah, so that is where I would say you start. It's the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. It's all about winning government contracts. The live sessions is over a 30-day period. Of course, you get lifetime access to the training modules. Once you sign up, you get immediate access to that. And that's how some of the students were able to get leads before we started with the live sessions, because they went through the training modules. It's all laid out and they did the work and they went out and got some leads. So here's the thing I always tell you guys too, with the trainings, whether it's mine or someone else, it's information. You have to take action. So here's what I like to do. I like to embrace people where they are. That's why the structure of the program is what it is. And then I like to educate you through the training modules, and then also empower you to execute. Because we can't stop at empower. I need you to execute to get some results. Okay. And you have to realize I'm not handing you anything. I'm teaching you theoretically how to fish. Okay. I'm not going to hand you anything. I'm teaching you how to fish for yourself. So you have to go out and execute. Okay. Now, if you guys want to join the boot camp, let me put the link in here for you. You can go check it out. And if you want to join, you know, go ahead and do that. Last session sold out and we had to close the doors early. So there's the link if you want to join us before it fills up this time, because I'm sure it will again. All right. So if you have any follow-up questions on that boot camp, Clear, you can let me know. Lynette says, I have been told to keep the name generic. I'm assuming you mean your company name, just in case you get various contracts in different fields. Is that correct? Okay. You can do whatever you want, right? At the end of the day, with the name, you can do whatever you want. I don't even know what you're offering or anything like that, or what you're planning to offer. We could definitely dive into this more in the boot camps. So what I'm sharing here is going to be general because I just don't know your whole story. So take it with a grain of salt. So what I like to do personally, I said personally, again, I don't know your whole story and what you're going to offer, or any of that stuff. I like to be specific. And let me tell you what I mean. Because it tells people in the name what I do. And so I don't have to have them guessing, or you know how you go somewhere and you sign in and you put your name, email address, that kind of thing, or somewhere where you put your company name, but there's really no space for you to explain what you do, those names come in handy. And so what I like to say is, you can do multiple things for sure, but what do you want to be known for? Because that's the other thing. When people remember your name, what will they remember you for, and then can attach you to an opportunity. So think of it like that. Okay. And here's an example. So my construction company is Streeter Construction. Construction says it all. The other name doesn't make a difference, right? But it says construction. Everybody knows what that is. Now, my company that I do the consulting, professional training, and development is Dream for Self Business Services. Doesn't really tell you what I do. So I wasn't thinking on that one. I wanted the name because the name stands for something for me. And I won't get into that whole story here, but it was back when I was teaching college at the college level. And a lot of the students that I was helping, the name came up actually there. And I just kept it and put it into the business when I started the business afterwards, because I wanted to serve in the same way. But it doesn't really tell you what I do. And so a lot of times if I go somewhere and I just put my name, right, and then I put the business name and my email address, they have no idea what I do. So think about it, right? Again, you can do whatever you want. So I'm looking at getting a DBA. Okay. And the funny part is I have a DBA and it just says Dream for Self International. So yeah. So that's just a little story. Maybe that'll help you in deciding. Okay. Hey, Sheila, welcome, welcome. So Sheila says, I am still waiting for my tax ID, just formulated my LLC. Congratulations. What do you propose in the interim to get ahead of government contracting as I wait to sign up for the DUNS number, blah, blah, blah. I do have a corporate job. Well, awesome. So here's the thing, Sheila. I always tell my people in my community, so if you've been around here long enough, and I think you're new, I always say there's never a place or space where there's nothing to do. Ever, ever, ever. There's always something you can do. Even though you're waiting on your DUNS number to get through that process, you could still be figuring out who's your customer, what's your NAICS code, how to find contracting opportunities, learning how to bid. These are all of the things I cover in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. And it's structured as such because people think they have to wait. Trust me, you'll catch up. Like the paperwork will catch up really, really quickly. You'll see. And then you're like, if you do nothing, then you're just that far behind because you still have to do these other steps. But they're not contingent on that part. Like what you need to learn is not contingent on your DUNS number, right? And it's not to say you can't even bid anything either. Now, you may not can win a government contract, but this not to say we couldn't get you on one. It's not to say that you couldn't do a commercial project or something in corporate. Okay. A lot of times we have in this area, and I don't suggest it, this narrow focus and thinking we can only do this one thing, but really you need to expand your horizon, especially when you're, and I'm talking about the contracts that you're looking for and things like that, that you could be doing other things for sure. So Sheila says the boot camp is in July, though. Anything earlier? So as I said, Sheila, we start the live sessions in July. You get immediate access to all of the training material. And so what people are doing, because you want to make sure the foundation is set. When we get to the live sessions, it's all about bring your opportunity. If you don't have one, go find one. I'm telling you how to go find one. Bring that opportunity. I'm going to show you how to break down the solicitation, like pull out the requirements, and you can ask any questions that you have on your bid. We also create your bid checklist, okay? And then create your proposal, and you can ask any questions that you have on that. So we don't want to wait till the live sessions to get started, because if you're missing something else, it's just going to slow you down in the process. When we get to the live sessions, it's all about getting the bid done. So you need to know who's your customer. You need to have your NAICS codes, all this other stuff you need to have in place. You need to know what your capacity is. So when we look at the opportunity and you ask me something about it, the first thing I'm going to say is, okay, when you tell me, you know, what it is, I'm going to say, okay, so what's your capacity? And you can't be like, Because if you can't tell me your capacity, then I can't tell you if that's a great opportunity for you, if you have a shot at winning it, things like that. So you need to know your business preferences, your capacity, who's your customer. All of those things are important so that when we get to the live sessions in July, and let me tell you, it's right around the corner, that you're ready to go. Because the other thing is, like I said earlier, it was a lady too. Yes, she was rocking and rolling. She came to the live sessions with 18 leads. And then she was like, okay, Felicia, I have this meeting next week with this company. What should I say? I laid it out for her exactly what to say, what to ask for, everything. So you see how she came prepared with an actual opportunity, and I helped her through that process. And she came back the next week and she was like, you know what? One of the questions, or one of the things you told me to say, they asked me before I could even say anything, but she knew what the answer was because I already told her to make sure you say this or that. And lo and behold, they're doing business together. So she has a great opportunity before her that's going to run some time. So that's why I give you guys time to get into the content of the boot camp, right? Start doing the things that you don't have in place so that when you get to the live sessions, you're ready to rock and roll and actually get an opportunity done. Okay. So that's why you have that time, Sheila. Hey, Samantha, you're new here. Let me see. Okay, Samantha says, this may be a stupid question, but I want to clarify. I can still work with government contracts as a nonprofit organization, correct? So not a stupid question, great question. And let me just say, I know we're over our time, so if you have to go, bless you. I appreciate you staying here, but I'm going to finish up these last few questions here because I want to be of service and I don't have anything scheduled right now. Okay. All right. So Samantha says, this may be a stupid question, but I want to clarify. I can still work with government contracts as a nonprofit organization, correct? Now, I'm gonna help you answer this for yourself, Samantha. So when you say nonprofit, that means you're not in it to make money. Government contracts is for profit. You're in it to make money. So if you have a nonprofit of a 501c, something like that, if you want to do government contracts for profit, you're going to have to get a for-profit business, okay? Those are two totally different type of entity structures. And so you want to, set up a different business for sure. Okay, Clear says, great information. Thank you. Thank you. I put the link for the boot camp here. It's FeliciaStreeter.com/bootcamp, or you can just type in firstbiddonefast.com. It'll take you to the same place. All right. And don't forget, spots will fill up. And right now we have a 3-pay option as well. So, and it's going away. Alina says, I have my personal bills paid up until February. You better work, girl. But I would like to know how much I would, let me see, I would for all certifications necessary for your personal class setup. Back off is that roundabout number. So I think what you're saying, because you left some things out, Alina, is that you have money saved up until what, February 2021, maybe? Okay, I'm gonna go on that. And then you say how much for your certification. So most of your certifications are no cost or very low cost. Now, here in the state of Texas, they now charge for your DBE, MWBE, MBE. And I think it's like $100, $150. I can't remember. I did mine, but I don't remember what I paid. So it's like $100, $150. Alina, I'm assuming if you're a woman-owned business, if you wanted to do the woman-owned business certification right now, through the end of June, it's still a self-certified, but they're switching it out to a third-party certifying agency, which is organizations that's doing this. And for them to go through them, is like, it varies on the organization, but you're getting membership into the organization as well. So I would say $350, $450 for your woman-owned certification, something like that. But keep in mind, it's not so much for the certification, but it's to be a part of the organization. And whichever one you choose to do it, definitely make sure it's one that you want to be active in and it can benefit you as well, because there's a few of them out there. And in the boot camp under government contracting roadmap module 3 and 4, we talk about the certifications, and I give you those agencies as well. Okay. And then you say for the personal class, so I'm gathering you talking about the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. The investment in that is $997. And set up for your back office would depend on what you need. So that's kind of depending on what you're offering to the government. Is it software or equipment you need to have? Most businesses don't have to necessarily go into an office space to get started. Do you already have a computer or cell phone, that kind of thing? Again, depending on what you're going to offer would entail what you would need back office wise. What I do know is most people have everything they need to start their business from home. Now, if you're doing janitorial or something like that, you know, you're going to need cleaning supplies and things like that. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but yeah. So those are just some of the things, you know, you just have to kind of figure it out based on what you're doing. So those are some numbers for you. Okay. Okay, Lynette says, thank you. Yes, that helps. All right, great. I'm glad I answered your question. Looking forward to the boot camp. So I'm looking forward to having you. I love having you guys in the boot camp. It's so much fun. Okay, let's see. Christina, welcome from the DMV. All right. Christina's waiting for her SAM registration to process. Awesome, awesome. Keep up the good work. Keep moving. Sheila says, awesome. Thanks so much. Glad to have you. I'm just reading here, see if we have any more questions. I think I see one more. Oh, Christina, so you're okay. Awesome. Good, good, good. Yes, this is the great. Yeah, that's awesome. I have a lot of contracting officers that I work with because it's kind of different doing it from the government side versus the business side. So yeah. Risa says, thank you. Glad to have you. Lee Moore, welcome, welcome. I don't remember you here. Let me see. You have a question. It says, hi, after you take the boot camp and want to continue to the one-on-one mentorship, will the boot camp price be deducted from the price? So Lee Moore, if you come back in a certain amount of time, right, then yes, we deduct the boot camp investment. But if it's, you know, over a period of time and you come back like later, things may have changed. And so, yeah, it would be the full investment. But yeah, I have people do that, you know, within 30 days of the boot camp ending, they'll come back. And so we make that adjustment for sure. Oh, Clear says, I'm joining tomorrow. Awesome. Awesome. Look forward to having you. Yes. How long will you have the repay option available? It will be until mid-June. I don't have the date, but somewhere around June 15th. It just depends on, I forget what day that falls on. But you still have a couple of weeks of the 3-pay option for sure. And then Clear said, Lee Moore, great question. All right, awesome. Hey, Phyllis, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. All right, so, I mean, that's it. That's all of the questions. We went a little bit longer than we usually do, but I did want to answer all of your questions here. So I hope I answered your questions. You have some clarity. That's the main thing. You came, you showed up, and I'm hoping you left with some clarity. You know, whatever question you had that had you stuck, that you ask that question so that you can keep moving. I open up this platform for Q&A all the time because I don't take a lot of questions via email unless you're my private client, of course. And so but I do like to serve you guys because sometimes it's just one little question and it'll get you moving. And so we don't want you to be stuck. If that's the case, you just really have to show up and be transparent and ask the question. So thank you guys for, those of you that did ask a question. You know, if you have a question, you know, you won't get the answer if you don't ask. And there's never a dumb question. It's never, you know, someone else asked it because you may not have seen it. Now I may reference their question and their answer. You can go back and watch it or something like that on the replay if we talked about it. But there's never a dumb question. You know, you sit and you don't ask your questions, you'll be stuck forever. So we don't want you to do that. And again, those of you guys that asked about the boot camp, it's the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. You can go over to my website, FeliciaStreeter.com. You'll see it in the top navigation bar. Or you can just, you know, go straight to FeliciaStreeter.com/bootcamp. It'll bring you right to the page. We do have limited spots as always, because I like to get to know your business. Just like I'm answering your questions here. And I told some of you guys that I really don't know because you didn't put enough details. Well, in the boot camp, yeah, we get to know your business. Well, I do. And other people too. They do a lot of networking in there and things like that, and sharing opportunities and putting people on other opportunities. So it's just a great place to be, and getting some support and getting that first bid done. That's the main thing. We want to get it done, right? Get it behind you so that you can continue to move forward. All right. So the investment in the boot camp is $9.97. I think very reasonable, because your first opportunity is more than going to pay for your investment. But guess what? You get to take the information with you forever and use it over and over again. So that's the beauty of information and knowledge and content and things like that. All right. So let me see. Kevin said, he told you guys, remember to like and subscribe. I remember you because you did that during the Get Government Contracts workshop. That was awesome. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that so you get notified when we go live each Tuesday right here on the channel, and when we drop new videos on Thursdays. A lot of free content is being shared here on this channel. You just have to show up to get it, or hit the notification bell so that you're notified when it pops up here on the channel. And if you like this video, like this training, you like what I'm putting down here, coming live, answering your questions, don't forget to hit the like button, because it just lets the algorithm know that, hey, this is something that people should, pay attention to, and it'll show up more for you too. So make sure, anytime you're watching any videos and you like them, you should like the video so that you can get more of what you like. Okay. Okay. So this is going to be our last question. This is from Phyllis. She has a quick question about the boot camp. She wants to know what the boot camp entails. Okay. So I'm going to be brief. In the boot camp, the actual boot camp, you get, and there's some other things I'm just going to hit on the highlights. I'm going to walk you through getting your NAICS codes, and 1 or 2 is usually not enough. We're going to walk you through finding your customer. Once you find your customer, you'll be able to pull their forecast. In the forecast, you'll be able to tell what they have coming down the pipeline. If you joined today, figure out your customer. We're in May. The forecast for a physical year. The government physical year ends September 30th. So you can go look and see what's coming down the pipeline, July, August, September, and prepare for that and get ready. And I talk about that in the boot camp on how to prepare and be ready for those opportunities. You're going to learn the bid process, how to bid opportunities, what to put into your bid, because I have a sample in there for you. You're going to learn how to read a solicitation, break it down, pull out the requirements, and in turn take it and put it into your proposal. Trainings on that, on the solicitation breakdown. Trainings on putting together your proposal, what you need to include. And it's a sample in there on that. I shared my sample proposal that I used to win multi-million-dollar contracts. So I'm sharing that with you. There's also a section in there on expanding your resources, because as you start looking at these opportunities coming down the pipeline, you're going to want to expand your resources so that you can take on larger opportunities. We talk about that. We also talk about teaming arrangements in there, which is another great way to expand resources and grow your business and learn from someone else and use their resources while you're doing it. So all of that is covered in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. You also have some bonus training modules in there. And I won't mention them all, but I'll highlight a couple. One is your create your best deal. So this is all about negotiating deals. If you looked at Arnesco, she has an audio recording of her testimonial, and she did negotiating and teaming arrangements to close a $50 million deal. And so that's on there under, excuse me, success stories. Let's see, what else? Create your best deal. And there's some other bonuses as well. Oh, government contracting roadmap. So for those of you that are just starting out, you would start there. Go ahead, get your SAM registration done, pull those NAICS codes, apply for the certifications for which you qualify and the ones that correlate with who's your customer. And then also everyone might want to check out government contracting roadmap modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because I talk about marketing strategies there to start marketing your business. So there's a bunch of resources really in there to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. And the ultimate goal, again, of the bootcamp is to get your first bid done. And so again, embracing you where you're at, which is why we have government contracting roadmap for those of you that are just getting started. If you're not, you have that foundation set, then you just start with the bootcamp module 1, right? We're also educating you. So all of the training modules are there for you. You can, go through them at your leisure. It's self-paced. You're not, in a race with anyone else. And then we empower you with the information we're providing so that you can go out and take action. And lastly, you need to execute on what you're learning. That is the objective. So I hope that answers your question. And of course, it's more laid out on the page when you go check it out, Phyllis. Okay. Okay, Clear says, what's the difference with the VIP from the regular boot camp? So the VIP, if you look at it, it gives you private access to me. So with that one, we have 2 private sessions, one-on-one calls, me and you, focused on your business. If you don't know what to have the call about, then I have some things that, we can focus on. And really the goal of it is to give you a jump start, get your business moving. You do one before the boot camp start, one after the boot camp, so that we can make sure you're on the right path after the boot camp, that kind of thing. Last session, one guy negotiating. So we focused on negotiating with his and strategy and what to say, that kind of thing, because that's what was before him currently. Another person had an actual bid that they wanted some one-on-one time with, so we used it for that. So you have some leeway on what you can use it for, but it's 2 one-hour sessions with me, one-on-one, me and your business. And, it's getting something done, whatever it may be within that process of what, we're covering in the boot camp or what you have currently going on in your business. Like you may want me to, take the hour and we go through the solicitation together step by step, or your proposal or capability statement. I forgot to say that. We also cover the capability statement in the bootcamp as well. I always forget to say that. It's on there, but we do. And there's templates in there for you to create your capability statement as well. So yeah, you can definitely use, and that's the VIP option of the bootcamp where you get the 2 private sessions with me. Risa said, wow, Felicia, you have created a great program at low prices. Again, thank you. I know. But, I haven't forgotten where I came from. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. We probably will raise the investment into the boot camp in July, just to be honest and transparent. Still keeping it at a level to where it's affordable. But, you have to invest in yourself and your business as well. And what you invest and what you want to get out of it has to be in alignment as well. And so I have people winning 6 and 7 figure, 8-figure contracts. And so, the investment, is definitely not too much when you look at it like that, right? Even if you win a 6-figure contract and you invest $1,000 or $2,000, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And not only that, you pay whatever the investment is one time, but you're doing it over and over again at that point. So thank you for that. Okay, so Risa says, should we have our LLC before starting your program? Nope, you don't have to. Remember, it's self-paced. Definitely, if you want to make sure you have a spot, I say go ahead and join and then get your LLC done. You still have time. So it's not the end of the day, right? Live sessions doesn't start until July. So you have time. One of the things is you just want to make sure you secure your spot, because once they fill up, we close it up, because I get to know you and your business. And everybody has time on the sessions to get their questions answered. And in the beginning, I call you out anyway, because I want to know about your business and who you are so I can help you better. And so I keep it small so that I can make sure I can touch everybody in their business every week. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to put the link in here one more time for you guys. And I'm going to take it. That's the final question. I don't see any more. Here's the link to go check it out. Sign up, get your spot. And I'll see you next time. All right. So have an awesome rest of your week. I appreciate you guys hanging in here with me. Great questions. And I look forward to seeing you right back here next time. Bye for now.